fears take flight. I'll be your strength, guiding through the night. And when the days are dark and heavy on your heart, I'll be the voice to guide you through the dim. Strong walls may crumble, but within you've got the spark. Just turn the key, let light dissolve the grim. Did you think you were alone in your feelings? Strike a match, let your inner strength be seen. Welcome to all things serious. In the depths of your despair, where demons roam, I'll be the hand to hold. You're never alone. When storms rage fierce and winds blow strong, I'll be the shelter in your soul where you belong. Welcome to all things serious.
Welcome, everybody. How are we doing today? I hope everybody's having a good day today. So let's see who's in chat. No one's commented yet? Got 5 people in chat. Come on. Let's know who's here. Is chat even working? Okay. Let's see. I hope everybody's having a good day today. It's been an interesting day today. What's going on, Ro the Hated? How you doing, Johnny? Hope you guys are having a good day. Just waiting for more people to get in so we can get this live stream started. It's probably been one of those days. We got bad weather out west, in Midwest. Tornadoes like crazy. What's going on, Hemi? How you doing? This weather that's going out west and Midwest is pretty scary. And that's where majority of my people come from, and I hope they're well. I hope everybody's doing all right. I'm just worried about people. So what have you been up to, Hemi? Are you doing all right? Ro, I hope you're having a good day. Yes, I am doing well. I am doing well. I'm still getting everything organized. I'm still getting everything together, Hemi. Would you like to come up on panel? Let me pin this message. So, Out of the Shadows with Ginger, how are you doing? So today's live is, you know how people are afraid to talk about mental health or afraid to talk about what they're going through or afraid to talk about their day or what's on their mind because they don't know how to communicate it. Well, what this live is to talk about talking about it. That's what this live's about, is sharing what you're going through and making it easier to move forward. Because holding it in is not healthy. I think a lot of people are, tired from last night being up late, because I had a long live last night. Well, this morning. I didn't get off my live until, crying out loud, it was creeping up at 5 o'clock this morning. How are you doing, Ginger? DJ Rogue Knox. I hope you're doing well, Ginger. How are you doing, Rogue? I hope you're doing well, Rogue. I hate that YouTube will be on such a delay. I hate that it's on a delay. I hate it with a passion. I really do. I hate it with a passion. Oh, man. That sucks, Rogue. That really sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm truly sorry to hear that that's tough. Ooh, spider bite. Do you know what type of spider it was? Do you know what kind of spider it was? Hopefully it wasn't brown recluse. Because if your hand's swollen, and you better go to the doctor. Just saying. Go to the ER. A spider bite's nothing to play with. Nothing to play with at all. Got to take care of that. Check it out. Oh, my word. So, talking about mental health, right? I usually cover subjects. Breeze to the wind. Good evening. So usually I talk about specific things, but I don't usually cover just talking about it. Just getting how you're feeling out there. Getting what you're going through out there. A lot of us bottle it in, and it's not healthy, because when you bottle it in, you usually do something you regret doing, like snapping on a loved one or somebody that you're close to, like a friend, but mainly we snap on somebody we love for no reason, because we bottle everything up inside instead of talking about it, which isn't healthy. How many of us here bottle everything up inside and not talk about it? Yes, you can breathe to the wind. You can speak. You can speak. You can come up on panel and even talk about it, breeze to the wind, if you want to. You're allowed to come up and talk. You can type it in chat and we can discuss it. Or you can come up on panel and discuss it. It's up to you. I have the link posted at the top, or I could drop the link right now, and you can come up and speak. It's up to you. You know, as we speak, um, that's tough. I'm sorry to hear that. I am sorry to hear that. So, being in Arkansas and he's in Florida, is it a definite? Will he get good time and get out sooner and good behavior? Is it a flat? Just asking Breeze to the win. And just so everybody knows, I turned off live chat replay because what people in chat are going through, it's nobody's business but here. Let me make sure that, because I don't like putting people's stuff out there. Mavid, how you doing? Man, that's if he doesn't get in trouble. Let me damn. I'm sorry to hear that, Breeze. I'm sorry that you're going through that. I really am. You know, I believe it's very tough. 17 years is a long time. Anything can happen in 17 years. That's a very long time to do. So he's got 16 years to go. That is tough. That is tough. There's a lot on your plate right now having to deal with. Low 12, how you doing? Good seeing you in chat, Low 12. So what I'm talking about right now is I'm not talking about anything specific. You're welcome, Breeze, to the win. You know, getting it off your chest and talking about is what's important. You know, I've been there. I've been. You have every right to worry. You're a mother. You have every right to worry. That's your son we're talking about. You have every right to be nervous and worried and everything else. But one thing you can't do is let it control you. You can't let it control you. When I was incarcerated, this was umpteen years ago. Okay, and I was looking at a very long time in prison. April Tobin, how you doing? Good seeing you in chat. BB Beyond Amazing, welcome. But as I was saying, Breeze, the only person I ever talked to was my mother. I had two visitors the whole time I was there. I had two people to come visit me the whole time I was there. I didn't want anybody else to come see me because at least you talk to him. That's what matters. He reaches out. He has that phone call. Thank you, Low 12. Sucks. Not I don't you know how I don't know how you're handling it. I don't know how I would handle it. I really don't. All right, Regina, you get some food in your stomach. I don't know how I would handle it. I really don't, Breeze. You must be taking it really well because I would probably lose my mind. I'd probably go in with him. That's just me saying that. I probably wouldn't, but who knows? David A, how you doing? Are you in Discord, Breeze to win? Are you in Discord? Just curious. Are you in Discord? If not, and you need somebody to talk to, Jane Miller, how you doing? Hold on, I put in the wrong email address. Give me a second. I gotta. What's going on, Jane Miller? You can always email me if you need to talk. I could give you my phone number, All Things Serious' phone number, if you need to talk to somebody, Breeze. Okay? Send me an email. We can exchange contact info if you need somebody to talk to. If you're going through anything. Oh, my word, BB. Did they make it out safe? Did they make it to a safe place? Well, I dropped my email, Jane, in chat. So if you need to talk, we can email each other. Cindy Rose, welcome back. Well, I dropped my email in chat. So if you guys ever need anything or talk about anything, I'm always free. And also, I have a Google Voice number, internet phone number. So if you're going through anything, you can reach out and text this number. A dose of rose. How you doing? Good seeing you in chat. Welcome. So yesterday, last night, I'm sorry you guys go through what you're going through, Jane and Breeze. That's stressful. That's a lot on your plate. So, Cindy Rose, the topic is, since you're just getting in, is talking about mental health, talking about what's going on your brain, what you're stressed about, getting it off your chest. A lot of people don't talk about what they're going through. They don't talk about what's bothering them, which is difficult. It's difficult. When you're going through something and you have nobody that you can go to that you can trust to open up to is hard. I know for me growing up, I didn't have that outlet. You know, as a child, I did, but when I got older, okay, I didn't have a person where I could go, and talk about what's going on and getting it off my chest. So I used to hold it in and I used to take it out on people around me, which isn't healthy. Um, so this is what this live is about, is not holding it in and talking about it, because holding it in actually makes it worse for you, especially mentally. Stress, anxiety, it creates depression. It puts you in a bad state. Um, it makes you tired. It makes you, in a lot of people, not everybody, but in a lot of people, that's awesome, Will be. That's good to hear. Good to hear that your mom is doing well and you're in a much better place. Good to hear that, Will be. I'm glad. Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. Yes, April. Stress can make you physically sick. Yes. When Breeze to the Wind. I'll I got. That's good to hear that your daughter called. It's okay. We can't. One thing we can't do is you can only help so much, right? As parents, as friends, as family members, you can only help so much. Man. All right, Breeze to the Wind. So if you need to reach out, send me an email, okay? And if you need to talk, we can exchange contact info, and I'm free. I am free basically 24/7, unless I'm sleeping. But Will B, make sure you're there to visit your mom quite often. Make sure you do that, Will B, please. But talking about what you're going through is important because it gets it off your shoulders. It makes you feel a lot better, okay? And it does. I didn't have that shoulder that I could lean on as I got older. I didn't have somebody I could go to and talk about. So Jane Miller, I have PTSD, I have insomnia, I have bipolar, I have manic, I have oh. Yes, NorCal Jim. I'm happy to see you in chat, brother. Thank you for stopping in. Agreed to talk to someone if you can. Make it a priority. Yes, NorCal Jim. Thank you for stopping in. So I also have unspecified personality disorder. I still don't understand that. I really don't. Yeah, I was in chat for that tough crowd, Will be. I was up on panel and watching chat, and it was just driving me bonkers. Bonkers. I was going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and I couldn't say nothing. I had to keep my mouth zipped. So, but as I was saying, everybody, reaching out and talking to somebody, you know, people don't like talking, and I used to be the same way. I used to hate, and I did, and hate's a strong word. And I used to hate talking about my problems because I didn't know how to communicate. I didn't know how to communicate. I didn't know how to express what I was going through without doing it in a negative way. No one ever taught me how to be emotional and breaking down the wall and expressing my emotions. I was always taught you got to be a tough guy. You got to be a man. You got to be this, that, and the other thing. Okay. Which, yes, to a certain extent, you got to be a man and you got to take care of things around the house. But there's nothing wrong with being in touch with your emotions. There isn't. There's nothing wrong with being in touch with your emotions. That actually makes you a human. You know, talking about what's bothering you makes you a human. Holding it in and not letting it go is not healthy. It ruins relationships. It ruins lives. It's not healthy. Yes, you can, Jane. You can ask a question. I think the reason why we're scared to open up and talk about it is that we'll be judged. I think we'll be judged. or looked at differently. That's why I created this platform, because I was going through a lot and I needed to share it, not realizing I can help people in the same way. I needed it for my own sanity. But at the same time, not only have I helped myself, I've been able to help others. Yeah, they don't either. Yes. You want me to be honest, Jane? When I was a kid? Yes. No lie. I couldn't control it. Not anymore. I haven't I That was when I was a kid. That was when I was a kid. I made mistakes when I was a kid. Now I do everything. What's going on, rapper? Why are you leaving? What's going on? I had a lot of anger as a child. I have a lot of anger. I had. Oh man, I take care of my mother right now. My mother's 76 years old. Okay. I am a mama's boy. I made mistakes in my past and I will never I still to this day I still to this day regret the things I did to my mother when I was a kid growing up. I still to this day regret it. I used to breeze to the wind. Um, I used to blame everybody for my problems as a child growing up. Even in my early 20s, I used to blame everything on everybody else on the reason why everything was going wrong in my life. I used to blame everybody. I never took accountability for my own actions. But now you hit that when you hit rock in a hard place, you've got to start taking accountability for your actions, and mend bridges that you destroyed. And that's what I've done. I have mended bridges and I have asked for forgiveness for people who I have wronged in the past. It's a lot to do that. It takes a lot to ask for forgiveness and move forward. A dose of rose, I know who rapper is. I know who he is. So learning how to communicate, what's going on, Hen? Learning how to communicate with people is very key. Okay. Learning how to communicate is very important. Communication is key. Um, What's going on? Just call me, Hen. I hope you're doing well. Okay, so I'm gonna. Welcome, Crimson Rose. How you doing? And yes, so back to what I was saying is communication is key. It's very important, Michelle Johnson. How you doing? It's very important to communicate what's bothering you. They could be in relationships, friendships, anything. If somebody upsets you, instead of yelling at them, process what upsets you and talk about it. Get it out there. Because if you don't, it's going to bother you and bother you and bother you. It's going to tear you up inside where you don't want to talk about it and you just bottle it in. But if you talk about it and say, hey, what you did was, it wasn't right and I don't appreciate it. Yes, NorCal. Yes. Since, so I go to therapy every 2 weeks. Okay. It used to be once a month. It used to be once a month. And it became every 2 weeks. And therapy has helped me a ton. You just got to continue with it until you get to an understanding and you get to a place that you don't need therapy anymore. But most people will need therapy for the rest of their life because they don't know how to express. Yes, yes, will be, especially if they YouTube. I did. I will tell you this, and I'll honestly say this publicly, and I won't drop any names. But there is a person that watches this channel that I did horribly wrong a while back, and I asked for their forgiveness, and they forgave me. Okay. No, Breeze, you can send me an email. Don't put your email here. You can send me an email. The email address I gave you, that's what you email. Do not put your, I'm putting my info out there because it is what it is. Okay. But send me an email from your email address after this live, during the live, or whenever. But don't put your email on here. I'll post my email address again. There's my email address again. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. I started this back in August of last year, and I've continued it, and I have not given up because mental health is very important. There's not enough. How am I going to say? There's a lot of channels who talk about mental health, but there's not a lot of channels who interact with people when it comes to mental health. I've watched a lot of channels that have professionals, who talk about it, but they don't interact with the community. And I try to interact with the community and talk to them. Usually invite people up on panel that are going through something and they want to share it, or just have conversations about mental health. You know, see, I don't think men should hide their emotions. I really don't. That's not healthy for a man to hide his emotions. Okay? That's not healthy. I get what you're saying, Maven. I can understand part of what you're saying. But men should be able to express their own emotions peacefully. But if men hide their emotions, it's not healthy. Talking about it is what's healthy. Now, I'm not saying get it off your chest in an angry way, but just talking about what you're going through is healthy. If you're having a rough day and you come home and you don't talk about it and you keep having a rough day, eventually it's going to end up in a bad situation. But getting somebody to talk about it and express it is what's healthy. So, Jane, you struggle with PTSD. Yes, timing. It is important. Yes. It's about timing and context. Yes. Well, what's going on, Cal? So, Maven, being in touch with your emotions does not make you weak. Okay. I'm in touch with my emotions. But if somebody tried to rob my wife, trust me, there's going to be consequences. If somebody had tried to attack my mother, there's going to be consequences. But I'm also attached. I'm in. I understand my emotions. Okay, and I'm not afraid to express them. But if somebody tried to come at my family, I'm not going to cry. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. Okay. No, I think you're misunderstanding me. I get where you're coming from. I think we're misunderstanding each other, in my opinion. I think we're missing each other. It's understandable. You know what? So emotions are, it's hard to explain. Also, okay, so he's saying my point is that women's emotions come first because they need us for emotional strength. Yes. Okay. But women are also supposed to build up the man in a relationship too. Okay, so if we are having issues and we need somebody to be there for us when we're going through something, so you got to express it two ways. Okay. All right. In a relationship, you're supposed to emotionally support each other. Okay. You're supposed to just call me Hen. I posted a link at the top. You should be able to click on it. It's pinned. Well, if I'm in a relationship and if she's not emotionally stable to handle my emotions, that's not a healthy relationship because you're supposed to lean on each other. I should be able to go to my woman when I'm struggling with something, and she should be able to come to me when she's struggling with something. Okay. If I can't go to my partner at any moment when I'm going through something and I need help, that's not healthy. It's a team in a relationship where one helps the other when needed, vice versa. He's been married since 2005. Teamwork is the only way. Yes. Let me get my headphones on. I got a guest coming up on panel. What's going on, Hen?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing just peachy.
Right. Part of the reason I wanted to come up was because of what Mavid is expressing, and I understand that this stereotypical world that we live in is the man has to be strong to look after the woman. Okay, but let me give you an example, and I'm hoping I don't upset anyone why I'm saying this, and if I do, you have a safe word now, Eddie. Can you remember what it was?
My safe word is Thor.
So if you get uncomfortable with what I'm discussing, type that in the chat and I'll stop. But say, for example, you conceive a child and unfortunately the child doesn't come to term. You lose that child. Both parents are going to hurt. Okay. And yes, the mother is the one that has carried the child and lost the child, but both parents are going to hurt. And you may feel as a male that you have to look after that woman, your woman, the one that's lost the child, but you have also lost the child. So you have as much right to grieve that loss of the child and be upset at that loss of the child as the woman does. That's probably the easiest example I can give where both of you could be hurting at exactly the same time. And the man feels that they have to protect, but no. You just need to be there to support each other. Both of you are going through the same emotions and the same feelings. The problem with society is we can never see things both ways. We always see things as black and white. Men should not be silent emotionally, and man should not express emotions at every whim either. But nor should women. But nor should women express emotions at every whim. That's the truth of it. As a single parent, I had to hide my emotions a lot from my children. because you're meant to be there to support your children. But that doesn't mean that I didn't share my emotions when I needed to, because that's nature. That's basic. I just needed to. I don't think maybe to understand that all of us have moments where we need to care about the other person first. But we also need to be caring and allow to be cared. And sometimes your emotions are more important than the other person's. Sometimes they are. Your example of your wife gets robbed, you can't get upset. Well, yeah, you can be upset. Of course, you can be upset that your wife has been robbed. That's my opinion. You can always be upset that your wife is robbed. You can cry for her as well as comfort her at the same time.
Yeah. I tend to disagree. I would put my kids first before my wife.
I agree.
You always put your kids first before your wife.
Yeah, because your kids aren't able to look after themselves. Your kids are not able to look after themselves. Your wife is. Your wife is an adult and has a mind of her own. And yes, she might come to you for comfort, but you should be able to go to her for comfort too.
Yep. Oh, well, in the comment, that's what it sounded like. You said men are strength. Just like you care for your kids, men care for the woman first. Woman first. That's what I took from your statement.
Both should be, yeah, exactly. I agree, Rosaline. Both should be the strength. You should both be able to lean on each other.
The whole point of a relationship, okay, it doesn't matter if it's a marriage or a friendship. You should both be able to lean on each other at all, period. If you have a friend that you can't lean on to when you need them, they're not your friend.
I think maybe, no offense to you, maybe, but you have a very old-fashioned sense, and it's great. No, don't get me wrong, it's great that you want to care for your woman. It's amazing because a lot of men don't. But it's a very old-fashioned point of view that the man has to be strong. The man has to take care of the woman. The woman is weak. We're not weak. We really are not weak, and we're not overly emotional either. I hate no, we're not. We're really not.
That's why I wish maybe would get up on panel, but he's working on getting his internet together, so he can.
He says you guys aren't understanding. It's not old fashioned. It is. It's old fashioned. It's what we call what's the word? Chivalry. It's chivalry, and it's great.
I will tell you this. I love Mavid and his communications.
Yeah.
But sometimes some of the I get confused by some of the things he says. And sometimes I take it out of context of what he's trying to say. So I am confused. Okay, so the thing is with me, right? All right. When you're in a relationship, you're a team.
Yeah.
You come together as one. Okay. So the husband represents the wife, and the wife represents the husband. They represent each other when they're together. They're a team. Okay. And if you can't be there for each other, it's not going to work. Okay. If you're not strong for each other, it's not going to work.
Agreed.
So I understand where you're coming from. My mom would totally. She's 76 years old. Yes, it's teamwork.
Mm-hmm.
It's teamwork.
I mean, if for example your partner is suffering with their mental health, then in that case, yes, you do need to put, no matter whether it's male or
I
female,
never,
you
but I,
may need to put your
yes,
emotions aside.
I never said don't ever put your wife's needs or emotional needs above your own.
No.
All I'm saying is in a relationship, it can be a friendship, it could be a relationship of any kind. What I'm trying to say is communication, okay, is key. Not just emotions. Being in touch with your emotions is one thing. Expressing your emotions is another thing. Okay. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say being, always crying about every little thing. No. All I'm saying is if you're going through something serious, or I'll use my example, okay. Through life, I would suppress things and not talk about it, which makes relationships unhealthy. So if you're not in touch with yourself and caring about yourself and loving yourself, you can't love anybody else. Okay.
Shut up, right? Is that overling? You're not old.
Dose of Rose is like crap. I'm only 6 years younger than your mother. Rats, I'm old. LOL. So all I'm trying to say is if you can't love yourself, you can't love anybody else.
I agree.
Okay. This is the reason why I've chose to say stay single.
Yeah, snap. I just want to.
It's not healthy, Jim.
Okay, maybe this is why I'm disagreeing with you again. And right, so say Eddie, you lost a parent. Have you got both of your parents?
Yes, but I lost my grandmother, which was very difficult.
So you lost your grandmother, and say your partner at the time was close to your grandmother too. Okay.
I'll tell you a quick story, okay? Because I lost my child too, okay?
Right, okay.
I'll tell you a quick story. All right. My first wife, okay. Our first child passed away the day our daughter was born. Okay. I wasn't able to grieve when it happened. I had to be strong for that relationship. Okay. I couldn't lean on her because emotionally she wasn't strong enough to handle me grieving. So I was never able to grieve. I had to, and it eats me up every day. So when I talk about losing my daughter, I never got to grieve properly. So it bothers me all the time. It's difficult in some cases because us men are supposed to be strong. Okay. Sometimes there's a breaking point. And if you don't talk about it and get in touch with your emotions and communicate it out, you're going to snap and do something you regret doing.
Okay. So Eddie, do you regret not grieving at that time?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And that's sort of the point I was getting to. You had as much right to grieve and cry as your wife did. But you, being the man, sorry, I'm doing it in quotations mark, felt you had to be strong for her. But why couldn't she have been strong for you? Why couldn't you have been strong for each other?
Yes.
And that's my point I was trying to get to when I said what I said earlier on. That you are both grieving, you both have a right to grieve, and you both need to be there for each other. Otherwise, you end up like Eddie, messed up in the head. Sorry, Eddie, but you know, you're suffering now because you never had that chance to grieve.
April 13th is the roughest day of the year. I will tell you that.
You can imagine.
April 13th is the roughest day of the year for me. April 13th.
So, what I was getting to, so for example, you have a parent that passes away, and your partner is close to that parent, and that parent has taken them in as if they're their own child. They've accepted them, but it's your parent. You're the man. It's your parent. Your wife is grieving. Are you still meant to be strong for her, even though it's your parent? That's my question.
See, Maven. So if Eddie's grieving, then I suck up my problems to help his. And in a male-female relationship, women will need us for support more often than men. So we'll end up sucking it up more for them.
But you shouldn't have to suck it up. You should both be able to express how you're feeling.
Yes, you should both be able to express.
Yeah. You don't suck anything up. You express your feelings and you support each other. It's a different thing to sucking it up. Different thing.
I get where he's coming from.
Yeah.
I do get where he's coming from. Yes, us men do suck at it sometimes. Yes.
No, he's saying suck it up. Hide their feelings, block them out.
And you can only do that for so long.
Yeah.
You can only do that for so long.
Yeah.
You can only hide your feelings for so long. Just saying.
Oh, I know. I mean, I used to bottle up all my feelings, and then they'd come out as an explosion, and that's not good because people get hurt.
So now I get where you're coming from, Maven. At times, we will both have issues. So if my issues are more traumatic for me than hers, then she helps me. Okay. Now that is an excellent. That's what I'm trying to explain. This is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying not all women are more sensitive.
No.
Not all women are more sensitive. It's just that women are more in touch with their emotions than men. Okay. Women are more in touch with their emotions than men. They're not more emotional. They're more in touch with their emotions.
They're more willing to express them. That doesn't make them.
And yes, what Hen said, they're willing to express them. Us men, we're not in touch with our emotions like women are. And we're less afraid to say what we're going through.
Wow.
I love you, Maven. I love Maven.
He clearly hasn't met some of the women I hang around with, has he?
You should come over to your channel once in a while.
Oh, he wouldn't be able to handle us. He really wouldn't. Yes, my wife is a hardcore type. which presents its own challenges, I imagine, Jim. My mum was a matriarch, right? My mum was the matriarch in our household, and a lot of women are. And they rule the house, and they rule with an iron fist. Absolutely. I'm not saying she abused us, she didn't. But she, you know, she did all the financial stuff. She made sure all of us were looked after, but she also made sure that my dad didn't fuck about, you know. That's not emotional. That, you know, very, very pragmatic. What's the word? Pragmatic. And a lot of us women are very pragmatic. We're not emotional. We do get emotional, don't get me wrong, but everyone does. The difference is women will show their emotions, even when they're not saying their emotions. You see their emotions when you ask, hey, how are you? And you get that tells you they're pissed off. You know, simple things like that. Whereas men will just go and hide in their den and hammer something instead. But yeah. Yes. Rose says, I know we are all talking in generalities, but not all are. Yes, exactly.
Crimson Rose says, where are these emotionally supportive men you all speak of? I'm not finding any of them.
I know that feeling, Crimson Rose. From my experience with men, they've all been much more emotional than I was. Just saying, you know, it was my partner that was sitting on the bed crying over fucking nothing, not me. Because he didn't know how to deal with stuff. No.
So when every relationship I've ever been in, I've always put my partner first before myself. Okay. But the thing is whenever I needed that emotional support, they didn't understand.
Okay. Well, I see it. I've always done it both. I mean, I do put other people's needs first, whether they're my partner, my kids, my friends. I always put their needs first because that's who I am. I'm a people pleaser. You know, I brought up 2 kids of my own, and their needs always came first. Whether it was such a good thing or not, I don't know. But it is what it is now. But sometimes your needs have to come first, and if that means stepping away and taking time out, and just because sometimes that's what you need, and you do it. Right. Well, I think maybe that's your experience, Eddie's experience, but it's not my experience. For me, the experience was with my partners. They were more emotional than I was. But maybe I'm just tough old boots. Maybe. I'm not saying I don't get emotional, because I do. I certainly got emotional when my mum passed away. I certainly got emotional when, you know, my son was causing me nothing but grief. And I certainly got emotional when relationships broke up. But during the relationships, I was the stronger one.
Yes, I agree, Mavid. We are complementary. complementary. We need each other. Yes.
And that's the point we've been trying to get across the whole time. And I think we're just miscommunicating.
Yeah, I think we're miscommunicating and confusing each other.
Yeah. But yeah.
I'm just saying, for men's mental health and women's mental health, we need to communicate with each other.
Yes. Yes. And you shouldn't worry about, you shouldn't put your partner's feelings before yours if yours are just as important. That's my opinion.
Crimson Rose, that is awesome.
It is awesome.
That will battle your depression and grief. Yes, that is a type of therapy. It's called a stress management technique. Yes.
Well, it's absolutely great. Exercise is meant to be very good for depression.
Yes, and grief. Yes, that is.
Even just getting out in fresh air, going for a walk. Doesn't have to be serious exercise. Just going for a walk. I'm not.
Well, not all women like jacked men.
I can't stand them. Oh no.
Okay.
Personally, I don't like.
And there are some men who like jacked women.
Yeah, I don't like that either. No, I don't like muscly men. Oh, it makes me go. I laugh at them walking down the street when they can't put their arms down by their sides. You know what I mean? They're so muscly, can't put their arms down straight.
Kim D said, "That's why I moved to a warmer climate, to get outside for my mental health. Gardening is healthy. Being outside and being one with nature is important. Mm-hmm. Grounding yourself is important."
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome, Kim D.
Take your shoes off and stand on the grass.
Yes, Marcus. How you doing, Marcus?
So has he got a little woman?
Yes. DJ Rogue Knox.
Oh, is Rogue Knox Marcus's other half?
Yes, Marcus is Rogue Knox's other half. Yes.
Oh, so she is a little hobbit like me.
Yes, I have nothing but respect for Marcus. It's good seeing him in chat. He don't come in that often, but when he does, he speaks nothing but good vibes about his old lady, even though she's not old. Maven is like, not jacked, just normal male biceps. You keep taking me to extreme.
So you don't.
Maybe like you keep taking me to extremes.
Okay. Well, I've seen women with biceps, and I haven't. I used to have a little bit. I don't anymore. But I've seen women with biceps. They're just fit. They're trim. They're well exercised. That doesn't make them unattractive. I don't understand. I still don't get his point. Then, if he's not talking about overly pumped, jacked, then women with muscle are muscle. It's no different to man with arm muscle.
Well, I got some biceps. I got a belly to go with it.
Yeah, so being physically fit is not unattractive. I don't get it.
Yes, biceps ain't no good if we don't work on mental health. Like a person wearing sexy cologne, you have to remember the difference, the whole package.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if Crimson Rose carries on her exercising regime, she might have biceps.
Think of the movie Rocky. He did that for his mental therapy. The whole movie was about mental health.
Yeah. Which reminds me, I really need to get on with that thing I was promising my channel ages ago. Exercise through the decades. I've just been keep putting it off. Rose has yet to encounter a male partner that's put her first. Just her experience.
I think partners should put each other first, in my opinion.
Yeah, but what she's saying is she's always been the one to support them, not the other way around.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I always put my significant other first. Yes, I agree, Jim.
Yeah.
I will find out in a week when I have to have surgery, my ankle surgery. I already had my back surgery. Good night, Will
Will.
be. I already had my back surgery. I had a tumor removed.
Was it
And
cancerous?
Huh? No, it was. It was non-cancerous.
Malign. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
So
Still
it was sitting on nerves. It was causing nerve damage.
Yeah.
But man, when they removed it, Ghost of Rose is like, I used to have biceps a very long time ago. LOL.
Well, I mean, I've always done physical work, so you know, you build up muscles. They might not be like in your face muscles, but they're there.
She's like, I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
However, now I've not been working for over a year. They've all disintegrated. You can't tell they were there before.
They said, have a nice day.
You said, have a nice day.
Your biceps said, have a nice day.
Yes, my biceps. They weren't really that obvious anyway. But yeah, I mean, I was carrying 10-litre tubs of paint around all day. You know, you have to build up some muscle. Up ladders and above my head and, you know, that sort of thing. And I'm 5 foot nothing and size 6, American size, I think. Yeah. So I'm never a big girl, but I had strength. However, I haven't worked for over a year and I've got no strength at all. I get exhausted just walking around. I walked for 2 hours the other day and I was like knackered. Whereas I'd walk around all day, 10 hours a day. Not a problem. Crimson Rose has never had a sporty partner either. Yeah, that's not good. I'm not. No, some days I don't feel very strong, Emily, but thank you. Thank you indeed. I try to be strong mentally, but it's not always that way. I've had moments recently where I wasn't strong mentally, and that is not to do with emotions, that's to do with mental health, different thing altogether. Main topic, talking. Sometimes people do not want to talk about it because they don't want to defend their feelings. Yeah.
Emily, you are a badass in personality and you have the strength that way, Hen.
Shh. I already read that out. I've already responded to that. I've moved on.
I had to repeat it.
Okay, so the topic was talking about it, wasn't it? So let's get back to that.
Yeah, let's talk about expressing yourself. You know, if you have anything bottled up inside you, it's healthy to talk about it than holding it in.
And if like what was his name again? God, my brain's not functioning. It's like only past.
I was listening but distracted at the same time because my mother just texted me.
Ah, is that what you was doing?
Yes, my mother just texted me, so I had to reply.
Yeah, Mavid. If, for example, Mavid, you feel you need to be strong for your partner and not burden her, then find someone else you can talk to. If you cannot do it with your partner, find someone else you can talk to, whether it's a professional, a friend, you know. It's always really getting things off your chest is so relieving. It feels like a weight is lifted off you. You know, even if it's not your partner, if you don't feel your partner can deal with it, then find someone else. That is my honest. I have been through counselling, not recently. I was given CBT online. It was awful. When you're going through a mental breakdown, CBT is not going to work. Not going to work.
CBD or CBT?
CBT.
I don't know what CBT is.
Cognitive behavior therapy.
Okay, you were given. Okay.
Yes.
Online?
Yes, online.
In person's better.
Well, if you're in the right frame of mind to be able to take that information in and put it in place. But when you're at the darkest point, that is not the right help. The right help is just being able to talk to someone. Okay?
Yes.
And if you need medication, take medication. Personally, I don't take medication because it scares me. That's the honest truth of it. I got prescribed some a long time ago when I was feeling really low. Let's put it that way. You know, I don't want to say the word, but you understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
And the first thing I read on the label is it could cause you to feel, and I'm like, I can't feel any worse. I cannot be taking these tablets that will make me feel worse before they will make me feel better. And therefore, I have refused to take antidepressants because I'm scared that if I'm that depressed that I need antidepressants, that they're going to make me feel worse before they make me feel better. I'm scared of that. And I also refuse to be dependent on medication, but some people need it and it works for them, and I have no problems with them having medication if that's what works for them. Some people say therapy does not work. CBT, so the first course of CBT I had was over 6 weeks, and it's literally someone doing a slideshow presentation. That was it.
See,
it was a Zoom.
Cognitive behavioral therapy. Hello, what is true? Like NorCal Jim said, should only be done in person, in his opinion. And
Yeah.
I agree. Because I go to therapy every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And there's sometimes where I can't make it to my therapist, so I got to do it on video call.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I could do video with my therapist. But when you start therapy, you have to meet the person. You have to see the person. You have to talk to the person and make sure they're not distracted by what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
When I had my mental break and I'm in the hospital and this person's on video with me trying to talk therapy, I'm like, you're not helping. You're making the situation worse.
Yeah.
You're on camera. You're not even here, so I can actually pay attention and feel the energy coming from you. And plus, there's somebody else in the background that should not be there because it's supposed to be a personal conversation.
Okay, so this situation, it was even worse than that. So it was a person presenting a slideshow, and everyone else, there was a group of us all just watching, and the only communication we had with them was type, and only when they asked us to type something. We didn't type otherwise. And my breakdown was work related, and they kept putting in this: if you're at work, you should do this. And if you're at work, and I'm like, will you stop mentioning work? Because it's making me worse. I don't want to think about work. Work is the reason I had a breakdown. Work is the reason I don't want to get out of bed and I can't stop crying. And that's all it kept going through my head. I could not focus on the therapy because it wasn't specific to me. Yeah, it wasn't for me. And I was at the worst possible point. I had literally not stopped crying for about 3 weeks at this point. Constant, everyday crying. Eventually I got put on a 1-to-1 CBT, and she was still following the same format. And she said, well, we could try this and we can try this. And next week she come back and, did you try this? I'm like, well, it really didn't work, because I felt bad because I've written a list of things I'm supposed to have done this week and I've only completed 2 out of the 10. I now feel guilty. This does not work for me. And I think you need to, it was, therapy needs to be specific to that person.
Yep, I agree.
And unfortunately, at the moment, with our mental health system in this country, that's all we get offered, Eddie. There's no one-to-one personal therapy available in my city at all.
That's not good.
No. And do you know what I blame? I blame, and I'm sorry, it's going to be slightly political. I blame Brexit, because most of our charities that run the mental health care were funded by Europe, and they no longer have the funding, and they've collapsed. And that's the thing. Our most of our mental health was run by charities that were funded by Europe. And the same situation with my son. He didn't. I tried to get mental health help for him, and they were useless. The mental health support system in the UK is awful, and I know it's not much better in America. You have to pay privately, don't you? But you pay for everything privately. But yeah, if you get a good therapist, stick with them. Stick with them. If that means you have to travel 50 miles because you've moved, travel 50 miles because you've moved. Because the likelihood of you finding another one just as good is going to be unrealistic. I had great mental health therapy through a charity when I was dealing with my mum passing away and my son causing me grief, and I mean severe grief. She was great, and it was a charity, and I just talked and talked and talked, and she reassured me that my thoughts were not wrong, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Reassured me that what I was thinking made sense and I wasn't just overreacting. And it was great. But yeah, tens of thousands spent here with health insurance. Yeah. It's a shame. It's a shame that mental health is not seen as a priority. I'm not even going to go into the politics that are going on at the moment, but apparently
I am, because there is going to be a live, where I talk about mental health and the stigma and everything else. I'm in the process after my surgery, and I'm well, and I'm in the right state of mind. Because right now I am, with the surgery coming up, I'm worried. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I don't know how long it's going to take for recovery. I don't know how long I'm going to be down. I'm nervous. So, wow, Jim, that's crazy. My therapist up and left with a week's notice to move out of my network, and then she ghosted me.
That's
Wow,
bad.
that
That's
is tough.
that is tough. So our prime minister has decided that mental health is not an issue, and that everyone with mental health problems needs to get off their ass and go back to work. Basically.
Wow.
Mhm. Look, we're all dealing with just everyday life stuff, and we need to grow some balls and suck it up and go back to work. He didn't say them words, but that's pretty much what he said. I'll show you the statement at some point. See what you think of it. It was disgraceful.
Yeah,
But
message me the statement.
we should be given the support at work to be able to do our job. And sorry, but what job is going to give you the support that you need? They don't. They really don't. I mean, they really don't. That's why I am not working, is because my company did not give me the mental health support when I said I needed it.
So Nicole, May 2nd. May 2nd is when my appointment is. May 2nd is when my appointment is, where they schedule me for surgery.
I agree, Crimson Rose. Yes. Well, I'm hoping it goes all well for you, Eddie. I really do. What is it you're having done again?
My ankle operated on.
So what have they got to do to it?
Well, I have ligament tendon damage, so they have to repair it. And I don't know how long the healing process is. The last person I talked to, said you're going to be off your ankle for at least three to 6 months before you start physical therapy. And that scares me because I'm a very mobile person, so I'm going to be down for a while, which really sucks. So the doctor said, Nicole, the doctor said that if physical therapy don't work, then surgery is going to have to happen. Physical therapy did not work. So I go in for the MRI. And then from there, we discuss when we're going to have surgery. So, because physical therapy absolutely did not work. I'm still having problems. That's what I heard. That's what I heard, Emily. I don't know how accurate that is. I don't know how accurate that is. But from some people, I heard that. That's what scares me. But I'll find out May 2nd from the doctor himself.
I think it might be to do with how the healing process happens, because obviously you need the healing to happen before you can start rebuilding.
Yes.
What does atrophy? I don't know what that word means. Atrophy.
You'll lose muscle fast.
Okay.
So you got to do certain exercises that don't involve you.
Yeah.
Because if not, you lose strength in that one leg. So what's going on a little bit, but I just want to thank you guys for being here. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get around on crutches. They're going to have to give me specialized crutches.
Because you're like so tall.
Because I'm so tall, I'm 6'6", so they have to get me special crutches for my height. So, but I just want to thank everybody. Maven, you weren't difficult. You weren't difficult, Maven.
No.
You kept the conversation going. That's what you did. That's what you did. You kept the conversation going.
A little bit
That's
better late than never. That's a phrase my mum used to say. Better late than never.
so. Thank you guys for coming in, chatting. I do have a on the 3rd of May, for those of you who are members. I have a members only live May 3rd. We're doing trivia night. Trivia night, May 3rd.
Oh yeah, but you're doing music trivia. I can't win that one, so I won't be there.
I'm doing music trivia May 3rd, members only. So if you want to join, more than welcome to join the team. So,
it's not a team. You're all up against each other. There's no team.
no, but join All Things Serious.
Oh, okay.
If you want to be able to come forth to the trivia channel.
Hello, Anne, by the way.
I know you will, NorCal. I'll win hip hop all day. That's me and NorCal's favorite music is hip hop. So, but I know a lot about music, not everything. I just know a lot about hip hop, and so does NorCal Jim. Emily's like, Hen's probably going to win again.
No, Emily, you're fine. I'm crap at music. I can't even remember the names of artists, of songs that I know off by heart. I'm really bad at music. Really bad.
So I will have 30 questions for music.
Hip hop.
All genres of music.
Especially if it's hip hop. I hate hip hop.
70s, 80s, and 90s. 3 eras. 70s, 80s, and 90s.
50s and 60s. I might understand. I might know some of them.
50s and 60s.
Seriously, I'm really old-fashioned music. I like a bit of rock and roll. You know.
So.
Just
think about it. If you want to join All Things Serious, it doesn't hurt. But thank you guys for being here.
That's a hint. Sign up
yes.
for membership. He needs all the members he can get.
Yes, I love members. Members join in All Things Serious. We do members only lives every Sunday. So, all right, everybody. Thank you for being here. Hold on, Crimson Rose, Emily. Oh, wow. I'm sorry for your loss. Actually, we dealt with mental health issues for years. But when my dad passed, things with me and my grandma got difficult.
Yeah.
They can be, yes.
He can do. One of the worst things about a family member dying is all the arguments that happen afterwards. You know.
Thank you, NorCal, for being here. Thank you. You're always welcome, man. You're always welcome, brother, to join. You're always welcome. And if you ever have anything you're going through and you want to talk about it, you're more than welcome to come up and talk about it. You know, anytime, you're more than welcome.
We'll get him a Zimmer frame, Emily.
I'm going to try to get one of those that you kneel on.
No, you know the old-fashioned old lady walkers. We get you one of them, Eddie.
Old-fashioned old ladies walkers.
Yeah.
I'm live.
One that you have to lift up and push forward, then shuffle a bit, and then lift up and push forward, then shuffle a bit. Them ones, you know them ones. A walking frame.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm live this time every night, Sunday through Saturday. So
Hmm.
I will see you guys this time tomorrow, and then I will be live at 2:30 in the morning. So I do 2 lives a day. This time is mental health, and then I do Who's Awake, and that's not mental health. That's just a hangout session, a chill session, calm down session. So yes.
And I'm normally asleep, so you don't have to put up with me.
All right, Hen. Thank you for coming up and hanging out.
Bye bye.
You had a lot of insight, and thank you for your input.
No problem. Bye bye.
All right, bye-bye, Hen. Yes, yes, Crimson Rose, Insomniac Hour. So I will see you guys during the Insomniac Hour. All right, everybody, have a good night, and thank you for being here. All Things Serious is out.